Hi YouTube. I'm gonna be doing a little conference call with my pals here. I was gonna say special guests, but it's just my mates.
Pals.
It's just my mates. It's not special guests. They're nobodies. But we're gonna talk a little. Fuck you.
We talk locals on a regular basis.
We talk. I think we get top 16 at like 12-man locals, so we're quite a big deal in Glasgow. But we're gonna discuss a little bit about the meta in general shifting in 2015 and the new set coming out soon. So I guess a first sort of general question to everyone is, I mean, how are you like enjoying the new ban list so far, since we've had a couple times to like test it out and see if you like it and stuff? Liam?
It totally made a difference.
That's probably my first reaction.
Well, from what I've seen, it's not really the ban list, it's the new sets and the evolution of decks.
Well, we're in sort of a strange downtime period currently where nothing has actually changed at all.
Yeah, it's like a transition period. Just waiting for the new set for Nekroz, and obviously you'll send you to drop.
I feel that at least in our decks, like Snatch Steal has made a huge impact.
I don't like the ringing format. Like, there's games that I've won and games that I've lost. I shouldn't have either won or lost just because of someone top decking it.
Yeah.
I think brain control's less like powerful. It should have probably came to one before Snatch.
Isn't brain control permanent?
No, they get it back in the end phase.
I don't know what. Brain control.
Danny says he's got Skype working there in the chat.
Oh, is it?
Like,
I'd say Snatch Steal's better than brain control.
nah, back in old format, like the fact that you can MST us, Snatch Steal was really important to that, because brain control is just, it's worse. At least you have a kind of out to Snatch Steal.
Aye, but that's only until the end phase. If you don't have an MST, you just lose your guy for the game.
Aye, but like mostly just now the actual like, brain control Snatch Steal thing is like, if you play Snatch Steal, I don't know, like Quillports win that turn surely, because they just go like Tributes, Disc, OTK.
They don't even need it most of the time. Just don't take them
Aye, they
without
can
Snatch
just
Steal.
storm fortress. Like.
I think Snatch Steal has hurt Clifford's more than helped them for this ban list, because there's so many games that like our deck plays like hidden armories and stuff, like, and it was just designed to steal Clifford monsters, and like I don't think there's a lot of games I would have won without Snatch Steal.
See, I do really in game 1, but game 2 and 3, because the mass amount of anti-Ludgate and anti-Quillport stuff, it kinda hurts Snatch Steal, but
The thing is, like, why, I mean, I feel like Snatch Steal was successful against Clifforts is because against decks like Shadows, like, Clifforts tend to side out their spell and trap hate. But, what?
I didn't.
Did you keep it? Well, you knew what we were playing, that's different.
Yeah.
And the general Clifford player would probably take out their back row hate against Shadows, not expecting, like, a whole deck designed around Snatch Steal.
Aye, they'd probably take out MST and leave in Night Dream, which is like even worse against Snatch Steal.
Yeah, that's true. So how do you think that like the Clifforts are gonna like shape up with the new set that's coming out? You've been testing them, haven't you, Jordan?
Yeah, quite a bit. I think next set is just next format's probably just going to be another triangle. Although I think Burning Abyss is the weakest of the triangle, to be honest.
Knocking out Shadows, basically. Do you really think they're
Yeah.
going to be that irrelevant?
Yeah, Necroz replace Shadows for sure.
Yeah. Shadows are, except they're higher up in the triangle.
See, I was thinking like with the new set coming out, Burning Abyss get better, but at the same time that only strengthens Shadow because they have an inherently good Burning Abyss matchup, and with the added fact that Burning Abyss seem to be dropping all their traps now.
I think Burning Up, not just Burning Abyss, Shadow and Stellar Knight are going to be the tier 2 decks. They'll be the rogue.
Yeah.
Like, Dolls now have a worse matchup because Burning Abyss played no traps, so like all their Denkos and stuff that made it such a good matchup are like now useless. Like Burning Abyss are now probably better than Dolls.
See, I think people are going to clock on and just drop the Denko altogether.
The deck make, yeah.
Denko's gonna be like useless next format pretty much, except from Rogue.
Yeah.
The cycle. People drop Denkos and then people start adding in more traps after knowing that the Shadows aren't playing Denkos anymore. Then people will start playing Denkos again.
Do you think people are even going to be siding and, you know, designing a deck around, like, hating Shadows with the fact that they're essentially not relevant anymore?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, but
I would not.
the thing is, Clifford don't have to do that in the first place. They just generically have a good matchup. The way
Yeah.
the deck plays.
Especially
And
with their
so-
new support.
And so does Necroz. Like,
Yeah, Necroz never had
Unicorn.
deck and stuff. Like, they have
Unicorn's so good against dolls and Trish as well.
Those Brio.
Yeah.
The deck in general is good against
Like,
Shadows.
to beat Shadows, you summon a Nekroz monster.
Yeah, literally any good ritual Necros monster can like
And,
kill
like,
them.
you can't die to dolls because of Valkyries. Like, they can't cause 8k while dodging Valkyrie should also, like, they never die. And then they just have time to trish your construct and stuff.
Yeah, Infusion isn't. And really, it's just a neg when you've got
Yeah.
things like Trishula to deal with.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. See if they didn't have that stupid bullshit, like better Battle Fader or Scarecrow sort of thing. She's also got maybe been playable, but not just now. That just kills you all.
Yeah,
So
Clifford's
thing
are
it-
better as well. Like, the dolls are really just power creep, to be honest. Like, within the format.
What are the major events that are coming up? We've got a ARG that's before the next set. Do we have a
YCS?
YCS soon?
YCS Charleston's on the 30th.
Oh,
Yeah.
February?
No,
It's
Jack,
January.
Alright.
like next week. I'm sure next weekend.
Yeah, next Saturday.
But the thing is, like, it's almost as if it's like too late because it's such a different ball game when Necros come out. Like,
Yeah.
and
It's just going to be like a Burning Abyss deck that wins it with like all the new names, probably.
do Clifford already have their new stuff, or is that in the next?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have
they've got-
stuff and stuff, Monolith and
But
all that.
Stealth and Monolith isn't really too great,
Yeah.
to be honest. I think Cat is just better in most ways.
Are people still playing towers? Well, I mean, I think
Some
like
people are.
Yeah.
People are putting it in thinking, oh, it's really good now because I dropped 3 cards.
yeah, wasn't it like a thing where
But surely if you've summoned towers, you've won.
yeah?
Yeah.
In
If you've got
situations
3
where you
guys,
could have
out,
summoned towers, you should have won.
How do Necros out towers?
You can attack over with Decisive Armor.
Oh,
Yeah.
honest.
the
Right.
searchable honest.
Yeah, that doesn't seem too good then.
Yeah. Like, that other one is kind of cool. The kind of towersy big
Colonel,
guy.
the big guy, yeah.
But you can
Yeah.
trash him, so he's not as good.
So how do you find the format compared to 1 year ago? Essentially, like, are you enjoying it more, or do you think the power creep's a bit too like advanced?
No, I just think this format is boring and requires almost no skill.
They hit
Yeah.
March.
Like,
One.
much worse players can win. Like, it's just not great.
Do you not think it was sort of the same back like a year ago when you were playing things
As
like?
Carswell winning on Saturday.
Like, no, like, Dragon Rulers took skill, like, 90% of the time the better player won.
Well, this is
Now-
January. Remember we're talking about. So the Dragon Rulers died last
Water
year.
format.
Mermail
Water format. Mermail was a very skillful deck.
Yeah. Like, Mermail was pretty skillful.
Mermals didn't really become sort of good until like people kind of realized like we need to play
January.
better cards. Like
It
yeah,
was January that Hoban put Mermails and popularised them.
yeah.
Before that, it was Heretic Rulers, which were just horrible.
I think the format last year, it was like you could get away with playing rogue decks a lot more, whereas rogue decks just can't keep up currently because of like skill drain and fire, like things like that.
Yeah.
There's always been a
Like,
sort of
there's so
down
much
period.
cards that just destroy roll.
Like, see after Nekroz and like Quillport eventually get hit, there's going to be a down period where stuff like Tellarknights are going to be tier 1. So always go for like a power creep into a sort of
Well, I'm sure you also Hoban's article on the like Konami's idea of rotating like decks between like getting better and better. So I mean,
It's kind
how,
of true. Like,
how long is it going to be before like relevant things get hit? Like for example, Shadow's like arguably like by his
They'll
logic.
get
Like,
hit in the next list for literally no reason. The
But-
people do nothing.
yeah, it
that's
doesn't
the-
need hit
They'll
anymore.
get hit anyway.
Unless
See,
the
if you
water fusion is busted, then like, apart from that, like,
the deck
Probably.
doesn't need hit at all. Yeah, I mean that's how I see it.
But see if you want to put it into perspective, you know how like Magic and Pokemon rotate every 2 years?
Yeah.
Or, like every, is it 2? It might be at some amount of years.
It's
That's
like
the way a
twice
ban list
year.
essentially works.
yeah.
Like, it's just
Konami
like
kind of do that
rotation.
without rotating it out. They just like hit like small cards so that the deck becomes like so bad that you either like suck at table 200 or like build a new deck.
Aye, pretty much.
Table 200 gaming. We should make a team called
Hashtag
that.
boring.
So, what have we got now? We've also got heroes coming out. Do you actually think that they could perhaps be relevant in any shape or form?
I haven't tested it whatsoever, so I can't really say anything.
I
Dark
think,
Lord's
yeah.
good, though.
I think that someone will find like a really good build, like an OTK orientated build. and
I don't
it'll be
think the deck can rely on OTKing. I think it's more of the Dark Claw Turbo, essentially.
I think
I think the only thing we're going to see is Mass change second in a few other decks, and not really heroes doing big things.
It's quite sad, isn't it, that a hero card is going to be abused in things like Burning Abyss.
Yeah, Mass change second in Burning Abyss is quite cool.
Yeah, like send a seer, bring out your Virgil, like get a dark one. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and you chain it to like a Brionac search, and then you banish something out their hand. It's quite ridiculous.
I think
Although
Hero-
like
Go on,
in
Duncan.
hero
I
deck,
think Darklaw can protect Darklaw because so much of your deck is into making the Darklaw in the first place.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
once
the
they
issue
lose
with
the
Dark
Dark
Claw
Claw, they
is-
lose. Pretty much. That's why an OTK like focus deck would be better. Like just abusing all those quick spells and just like try to kill them as fast as possible. I think that's the only viable way to build heroes.
See, Dark Claw is only good if you're going first, which is the issue.
Yeah.
And the anti-search thing is, like, I can't really say against Nekroz, it kinda hurts Brian at Manju, but that's about it. Like, Hero
You
Stun
can just
is-
you just mirror a guy and kill it, and then they've lost because they went neg 3 to make a kind of 2/4 beer that sucks against it.
When Nekroz are in deck, everyone's going to be siding Jin outs, like Eclipse, Book, like Geki, Darkhold, and those are also outs to Darklaw. So it's
Yeah.
just going to be seen by the fact that Nekroz are a deck in the first place.
Yeah, you have so many outs, like naturally by out in Jin, you out Darklaw, like just without even trying.
Have you guys been testing the Nekroz Burning Abyss matchup?
I played a few games.
How is it?
It's just a blowout, you just destroy them.
What? Who destroys who?
Nekroz destroys Burning
Do
Abyss.
you think so?
Really?
Yeah, you shouldn't really be losing too much, to be honest. Like, especially with now the low traps. If it's monsters versus monsters, Necros always win.
I generally think, but like, for example, like the Burning Abyss can play around the Trish so easy just by setting their hand. Which,
Yeah, but
yeah,
then
I've
you
seen-
just
I've seen
brile
Burning
double
Abyss.
Dante.
Yeah,
Dang.
I've seen decks cut BLS and cards that just generally stick in your hand so that you don't get Trish. Like I see them not getting Scarm Search so they can't be Trish, which is quite smart. But yeah, Brionac is still really good against the deck, so I'll make Dante Virgil. Okay, I'll return them, and if you
Yeah,
try and
or-
fire like me, I'll Trish that.
You can just make a Dweller and like just wreck their field like with Trish and Brile, and then they just get no effects and they just lose.
Yeah, Dweller Brio is really strong.
Yeah.
personally, I think that Cliffworts are going to be the best deck for a while. How do you think about that? I just think that the deck can abuse so many floodgates that it's like when you're playing Nekroz, like you just can't play Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think game 1 that is nearly all lose in Necroz against Clifford. But I'd say post-sided you should be able to win. With all
Yeah.
the stuff decided and to hate their floodgates with like hands,
not-
twisters, MSTs and stuff.
See,
Yeah,
what I
game
think
one
is-
it's
what
game
I
one
think's
it's
gonna
not
happen is-
on your gland.
Sorry, I don't think anybody's played in this, but did any ever like you know what the Thestos Mobius loop was?
A Mobius loop? No.
No, it wasn't a loop in per se, but it was like a sort of like game thing back in like 1-for-1 format. People used to play Mobius, so people would play Sacrets with Armour back when, or Trap Hole back when one of those was actually good. Then people started siding in Thestos, so people started playing other stuff again. Like they started playing like the traps. Trap Hole the bottom. I can't quite remember. It was like 7 years ago or something. But that's going to happen. People will start siding in MSTs and anti-floodgate cards. Then Network will play. Quillport will start playing no traps.
Yeah, I've actually seen. Yeah, there's been a few builds that have topped recently that have been
Trapless Quillfort? Does
Yeah,
that?
they're playing triple storm, and like literally no traps at all. Just like an OTK Clifford deck.
Why Storm? Like, what are they
I'd be
hoping
so
to hit?
happy with that though, because like Clifford
Yeah.
can't OTK you. Like the only reason to win is skill drain or emptiness, and you don't have an out.
Yeah, that's for now though. Like they're playing that right now because Nekroz isn't a deck yet, so
Yeah.
like, skill drain isn't very strong against Burning Abyss. You have an inherently strong Shadow matchup anyway, and it's
And it's
bad
bad
in
in
power
mirror.
too.
Yeah.
So skill drain isn't actually too great, and emptiness is just good against Burning Abyss when you're going first sometimes, or they don't have an established board. So
Yeah.
they're kind of cutting down on traps completely and just trying to OTK the opponent.
Honestly, I think like the best deck is gonna probably vary from event to event, but I'd probably say Necroz and Clifford will be the two strongest, like for sure.
Yeah, like something else that's really important as well is depending what we get in this new set that Nodin's coming out. Is Giant Hand being confirmed?
Nah, nothing yet.
Nothing's been confirmed at all, I'm sure.
Yeah, two things have been confirmed because they're on the packaging. Nebradis
Oh yeah,
and
Blazeman and
Nebradis.
Nebradis.
Is
Yeah.
this for the Superstar pack?
Yeah, that's
Isn't that like in November, right?
No,
April.
it's like April.
Oh, is it?
I think if Nodin was confirmed though, the title of their article would have been "You guys are getting Nodin in block capital."
Let's talk about
Yeah.
Nodin for a while. Like, do we think this is going to be relevant?
If it's
Yeah.
very relevant, I've been testing it in Shadow's and it's absolutely nuts because you can use Violent Cube as your light target for construct, and then you just instant fusion into nodes and summon the Biolon Cube, and you make like a level 7 synchro, and then Cube gets refusion, and that summons the nodes again, and you just kill them in one turn.
See, I haven't done any testing. I haven't seen any I haven't looked up like any of these crazy combos with Nodin. But like, is it splashable? Is it like, is there FTKs and stuff?
Fusion is an OTK.
It's
It's an FTK, sorry.
yeah,
It's not
most
just that as well.
FTK
See, as soon
ones-
as Snowden comes out, like, Mermail becomes fucking nuts. See, if there's a reliable way to dump Dragoons, you can easily just make these massive, insane boards.
Yeah, I think it's
Like-
splashable into Shadows and into Mermail and other rank 4.
Probably Keller Knights as well.
Yeah. So
If
like
the
rank
Star Seraphs are out in that set, then Telenites with Nodin and Star Seraphs would be really good.
What are Star Seraphs? Are they not like pendulum monsters?
No, it's pretty much like a rank 4, like engine.
They're a rank 4 engine, yeah, they used to play in the OCG with Telenites, but we never got it.
So with
the
rank
only
4s
thing-
potentially becoming prevalent in the near future, does that not sort of suggest that we might see Shaddolls again?
It all depends on whether we actually get Nodin or not.
Just got a tick on it.
No, I just drove past it.
I think Nodin is like, it's good, but see, for all these silly combos, do you not need to play like bad cards?
FTK, yeah.
For the FTK ones you do, for splashing it into Mermail or Shadow or another rank 4 engine, you don't do. With Shadow, you're playing the Mathematician anyway. The only cards you need to add are Refusion, which you can get back to your construct with anyway, and you add a Violon Cube, which is light for construct, so it doesn't really affect your engine much in Shadow.
Rank 4s,
Depends what deck it is, really.
rank 4s with Nodin won't be as good as the Node Zero because they don't have Shockmaster. Like, that was one of the best cards.
That's a silly card. I don't know why that was ever made.
OCG had Star Seraph Telenites with a Shockmaster.
Yeah, with Shockmaster, so like,
Yeah.
that
The
made
turn
them,
on Shockmaster consistently.
yeah.
Ah, interesting, interesting. What have we not looked at? What is there? What else is there to? What's happening early this year? I can't think of anything.
Literally nothing.
Not the London one, Brotherhood, yeah.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, for us, I guess the next major sort of event will be the London regional. How many? What's the turnout usually?
I think Danny said, yeah, Duncan, what was it last year?
153 last time.
153. I guess that's okay for a UK regional.
It wasn't original last time, it was just the Brotherhood Open.
Oh really?
Nice. And they give you burgers, it's great.
Complexity
Yeah.
Card Gaming are holding something in Manchester like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Like, for
It's
what
not a
people
major
know, it's
stop
just
though.
a glorified
Oh, is it just like a small event? Yeah.
Yeah.
which is quite disappointing.
I wish it was the same weekend. We could have went to both.
We want a
Yeah.
major stop. Just
See
that
that-
the major stop winner gets a trip to America for the ARG
Oh, for the
Worlds, paid travel
for
and
ARG
stuff.
Worlds, yeah.
I'd love to see Heroes be good, to be honest, but
Of course you would.
I think everyone would, but
No.
I can't see
I've
it.
been working on them, but a major issue is Hero Lives takes up half your league points.
Yeah, like first turn Darklaw with Hero Lives just seems like so much to pay for like a potentially
Yeah,
just to
and
have
then
it like
the-
Book of
you-
Moon or
yeah,
Regeki'd.
nothing in hand.
Yeah.
See if Solemn Judgment's are around, it's like, it'd be kind of good, but that's maybe never happening.
Solemn
Still,
Judgment probably won't come back.
We'll bring everything back eventually.
Were you
Quite-
like surprised at the balance at all? Did you like think that maybe it would be a bit more drastic at all?
No, I knew it would change nothing. It's not really nice.
I
One
thought they would
thing-
actually, I thought they were going to limit skill drain and like tour guide or something.
One
Yeah.
thing
Drastic change in a while.
Yeah.
I didn't mention Moral Attack as well. Like that was really random, almost like as if Konami had a brain lag and didn't
Nah.
think to like look at 2 formats ago.
They always hit things too late, like when it's not needed. Like, is why they might hit Shadows on the next list because it wouldn't be needed, but they'll do it anyway.
Yeah, so it's a deck
I
that's
think
essentially.
it was just used as a deterrent to stop people playing their old stuff and like make them buy new stuff.
Do you think so?
Like, everyone's still playing dull artifacts, like they're not making money from that really. So like
Yeah,
they're
like,
pushing away to
Moral
other
Attack's
stuff.
been- Artifacts have been like rotated out essentially by this point,
Yeah.
so I want
I mean, they're kind of pointless anyway. They're like so power creeped out the game that you just laugh if you get a little Sanctum flipped on you.
I quite like the artifacts as an engine because the fact that they're just splashable. Like I quite like the idea of like just putting them in any sort of random deck and
Yeah.
you could potentially do
Moral
well with
Attack
it.
is really bad now. Like, what can actually destroy that Arsenal? It's like
Yeah.
the only thing it's okay against is Cliff-Ups.
The only good thing about Moral Attack that I've always liked was the fact that it doesn't target. It doesn't make sense why it doesn't target. I don't know why they decided to add that, but like that was one of the niches I felt for Moral Attack. but it just like destruction in itself just isn't good anymore.
See,
Yeah,
I think
it got bad as soon
Konami
as.
logic- sorry, Konami logic was that it hurts Quillport, so Konami thought it'd be a good idea to ban it. That's the only thing I can maybe like think of.
They got kind of bad as soon as Burning Fist became the best deck artifacts because it really does nothing to the deck. The best thing you can wall attack in the deck is a Virgil, and then they're still drawing a card. And well,
Yeah.
maybe the best thing is when they tour guide and bring out Graph, and then you moral attack the Graph in their turn ends, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not really amazing.
Didn't mention the ritual monster that they got. Is that any good?
No,
Not at all.
I don't
Nah.
think. Like,
I think the way to play Burning West now is just play it more aggressively because you have more names.
Yeah.
I think you play like almost 3 of everything, maybe less of some of them, like Alcab and
You can probably now play less Firelix because you can send it with that new guy.
Well, I mean, don't forget Trapless Firelake is a thing now, so Trapless Burning Abyss.
Yeah, you can probably play 1 or 2 Firelix with some Emptiness or Windblast or whatever.
I'd love to play against that deck with Clifford. Firelight that's burning of this. Yes, please.
See, I like the builds that have been playing multiple beginning ends.
Yeah.
That's kind of
I think-
it's the one thing that keeps Burning Abyss going is that
I
you
think-
play like multiple beginning.
Yeah, I think the new builds are going to play loads of monsters and maybe 1 or 2 beginning of the ends.
How many
Yeah,
times
Sparta's-
have we seen people lose to a top decked beginning of the end to like drawing into like stupid things like BLS?
Sorry, Liam.
It's pretty crazy. I guess that's almost it. Like, I can't really think of anything else that. It's such a dull format. It's such a dull ban list. There wasn't really not much has changed. I guess we just need to wait till next set, really.
So if we're talking about we want to start a discussion about outs, the main thing this format needs to be spells. Spells are the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because the whole format's going to revolve around it. So see if a deck could like play Naturia and keep it alive.
Whatever. No, like it's like the
Like
only,
Dance
the
Princess
only
might be
reason,
important.
the only reason like stuff like that is bad is because like Burning Abyss played no spells.
Yeah.
They play like
So
nothing.
you come up against Burning Abyss and you just lose because your like, main plays make Nat Beast.
Then they summon tour guide and you kind of want to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Statistically, going on top, going to top and no, like it's a kind of good idea, but you could just lose and it's not part of Burning Abyss. Depends what you're aiming for though. But yeah, any deck that can make Naturia Beast is not a really good shout, but Quillports of Unlimited in it would be like a lot stronger.
It's quite
Even
powerful.
then, like in Nekroz, you can just like search your Dance Princess
Yeah,
and
I was
like
gonna
Nat
say,
Beast does
you get
nothing.
to play stuff like Safe Zone. Which
Are people still playing the E-Telly Recover in Clifford Mirrors to side? Like, I thought that was genius when I saw it.
That happened at one event.
Like how do you
Yeah.
I think
like?
Ethereum now.
Then Ethereum.
Still shut forever.
Dinotherium was quite interesting as well.
Yeah, Dinotherium's really good.
Okay, why would you not play it?
Why was the E-Telly thing taken out? Like, why is it bad?
There's just like 2 people that tried it because anytime after turn 1 it's really bad.
Yeah,
can't
and you need to go first.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like, when they have like like an established scout, it does nothing.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you lose to their guys anyway.
You can't
That makes
be able to
sense.
make the Nat Beast and have an MST for their current scout to be able to stop their next scout.
Yeah.
See the what's it called?
When that happens, like just other removals better.
They have a new like pendulums in general have this sort of my body is a shield for their scales. It's called Pendulum Moratorium or something. Have you seen
Yeah,
it?
that's
Is that
not
new?
an exclusive. No. It's
That's
still,
been in OCG for a while.
Oh, is it? Okay. Are we not getting
it
that?
negates targeting. So for example, if you Windblast it, you can chain it and stop the targeting.
Yeah.
It's really nuts, but no, it's OCG exclusive, I'm sure.
That is ridiculous. If we ever see that, Cliffords are just gonna be like crazy. Like playing that with like
People are stopping going after scout now. Like they're saving their MSTs for floodgates. Like Nekroz will save MST for floodgates. I think I'm
Yeah.
pretty much never going to MST a scout unless it wins me the game.
Yeah, because like because using Nekroz against Cliffords, like if you're like you don't need to stop like their monsters because their monsters can't beat yours. You just need to stop their emptiness and you'll win, or their scouter.
for other decks that are coming out in the new set, Duncan, you've been tested out some of the Spirit Beasts. How are they good? How are they? How are they playing out?
They're okay. They're like a weird sort of anti-meta thing. They can main D-Fisher and Macro.
Which is going to always be relevant, I guess.
You don't open Cannahawk for the Penguin, you lose, I think. It's pretty nuts once it gets going because can't kill their guys because every time you try and target them with something, they just defuse it into more guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then but a
That
non-target
plays defusion?
No, their ritual monsters have an effect to defuse themselves
Alright, cool.
for either player's turn whenever they want.
defusion. They've got a non-targeting destruction thing.
That's searchable. That's the
Some-
important thing, which
I think
can
some-
sort of be relevant.
And like I think it's got a decent Nekroz matchup as well because Trish doesn't do anything to them. They're fine with getting banished. They can just chain their thing to Brio. The only good Nekroz against them is Unicorn.
Mm.
They're okay, but I don't think they're that good. They've got a decent Nekroz matchup, but then they probably just die to Burning Abyss.
But if you have a decent Nekroz matchup, doesn't that not, by default, make the deck good?
Makes it good, but it's not a dominated it won't be a dominated format by only Necros. Like that's
Yeah,
like
if
the
it's
problem
Necros
with all
format.
anti-meta decks.
Yeah.
If Lefort and Burning Abyss weren't as good, then it would be like Nekroz would do the main thing, then Spirit Beast to counter them, but Lefort and Burning Abyss are good.
Yeah. But that's why no anti-meta deck is good, because there's gonna be three different decks who have different strategies, so it's hard to combat all three in one deck.
Yeah.
Anti-meta decks aren't as good as well because the first draw rule, you get a first draw rule.
Yeah, because anti-meta usually go first and have 5 cards to your opponent's 6 cards.
Yeah, anti-meta like 4 years ago was something minor, 5 back row. This was just after Stormrot Man, I think. No wait, that'd be like 2011, 2012 now. Yeah, so 3-4 years ago, that was like maybe TG Stun, back in that was the thing.
I guess to like finish off, something I was going to mention. Yeah. Any like predictions, I guess, for the YCS next week?
Probably Burning Abyss, because it's gonna be the most represented.
They do draft in America though, so it's kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't know what wins.
What
I mean,
what are the
probably-
ratios?
The dominant of the top 32. What deck dominated most?
I'd assume Burning Abyss will take the most top cut spots next weekend.
Yeah, but I think a bunch of people will probably might play Burning Abyss just quite a bad build for the
Yeah.
YCS. I've not
Do you
seen
think
any
we'll-
builds.
Like, there's not been any events really to like establish a build, and there's going to be a new set like in a few weeks, so there's not going to be like decent builds.
This YCS almost seems irrelevant because of the fact that the new set is
Yeah,
out in
pretty
like
much.
2-3 weeks.
Give Shadows a chance to actually win some, win some matches before Nekroz.
I think we'll still we'll have the standard 1 Tellarknight top, maybe even 2 with like their new
I
shitty.
think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, Exceed on core into a diamond against 2 Dantes is amazing, because it negates both their Dante effects.
Oh, you
and
mean Universe?
Yeah, Universe, not Encore.
Oh,
Do-
sorry, Exceed. Yeah.
If people play that, like, that could be quite interesting.
It's really cool.
And they have a new level 4 guy that really shits on the level that was just the Shadows. I wouldn't say shits on, but it's
Yeah,
the fact that
that's Diamond. That's Diamond. That's the one name's like that.
generally if like playing Shadows against Tellarknights, like if you summon Dragon, they sort of panic and have to go into their extra deck. So
Oh, Wriggle, the guy that increases
the
guys
new-
with
yeah, like they get this new guy now, so that means like
he's a window.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's Winda as well. So we could potentially see like Tellarknights.
It could be good, but they actually have an okay matchup against everything. Could be alright.
I guess but Tellarknights have just always been like since they've come out, they're just like the best sort of rogue deck almost.
Yeah.
The diamond makes Tellarknights really good against Shadow. Like, I think the problems they always had is picking one extra.
Can you speak up a bit, Andy?
I'm trying.
What were you saying?
Diamond makes the Tellarknight matchup almost like not great against Shadow, but it's at least a lot better
Yeah,
because Diamond sorts out a lot of problems with the deck.
because
Yeah.
you can Triver like a construct and then like pitch something out their hand and then Xyz into Diamond. It's quite a nasty play for the Shadow player.
Yeah, Diamond's really good against like I guess like does anything in Nekroz send from deck? Because I think it's not great against them, but
I don't think anyone does send from deck.
Not great against. It's like not good at all.
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
The deck is Banishing Archmage.
Yeah.
I don't really know if people will play that.
Well, I'm thinking that we'll probably see 1 or 2 Tellarknights. I think 1 or 2 Shadows, maybe 3. I think predominantly, Clifforts will probably take the next YCS.
15 Clifforts, 12 Burning Abyss, 3 Shadow, and like 2 Tellarknights maybe.
The one evil swarm top that always
That always sneaks in somehow. Evil Swarm are such a bad deck, God.
Volcanics guys.
Yeah, they won a regional, didn't they?
An English regional with like 41 players. A Welsh regional with 41 players.
Oh well, sure. No, it was Irish. It was Irish. It was
Irish,
first place
yeah.
Irish regional. I'm sure they literally get like a spellbound local.
Like, apparently he actually played against like 3 Burning Abyss, a Shadow and a Tellarknight or something. The guy probably made up his matchups. He played like Spirit Beasts and a Spirit Man round 1 and like Raccoons round 2. He played the janky shit.
Well, I guess that's everything. So I'd like to thank you guys for taking part, and yeah, hopefully we can have this again for the next set. So thank you.